Well, good evening, even though it's nighttime. It's like 10:30 at night. And the name of this vlog is going to be called Good Blessings and Good Wishes to My New Career. Now, I don't want to jinx anything because I've already had one interview and it went completely wrong. Now, I do have an interview tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to the interview. It's just that I'm nervous because I'm just nervous. No, I've applied for 3 jobs in this month. The job that I just had an interview for, and then I applied for another job the week after that. And then I just applied last week, for the same kind of job. And I feel like since I still have my CPR and first aid license, and I'm going to use my CPR and my first aid license because besides the fact that I have to show my diploma and social security card and all that, that is something that I need to show the daycare centers when I apply for the job. It really hurt me. All 3 of these jobs, like I'm gonna say one job, like I said, the interview that I had 3 weeks ago. That interview went wrong. Like I said, I could the man who interviewed me, who was the head director, he wanted someone who could drive. Okay, I can't drive, and it is what it is. But so I tried to apply for another daycare center that's closer in my area, and they never called me back. Now, this last daycare center that I applied for last week on Monday, I'm not understanding why I was told that I will I was going to have a link sent to my email for me to go get fingerprinted. And so I went to that same job today to ask what was going on. I was told another lie, and that I was going to get a phone call from the head director today. And so I'm not even gonna lie, my heart is in my stomach. I feel like crying because it's almost as if someone is wishing bad luck on me, because I don't understand why. It's bad enough the interview was not what was expected, but then these 2 other jobs. And then I cannot say that I could say that one of the second daycare job I went to, it was no one who was my race there who worked there. They were all Caucasian and Mexican. And this last daycare center I applied for, one black lady works there, and this daycare stays open overnight until 2 a.m. in the morning. I don't understand that because I've never heard of a daycare that stays open that long. That must be an international daycare. But yeah, and they're open on the weekend. I'm gonna say Monday through Saturday. But I'm just not understanding why people just can fix their mouth and lie to me. So I'm hurt, but I'm trying to have good vibes and I'm trying to think positive. And all I can do is pray about this interview that I'm going to have tomorrow. All I can do is pray on it. That's all I can do. I can remember when I was working at the daycare that I worked for 3 years on the north side of Houston. And mind you, this is the same daycare where I said the head director supposedly was saved, and she used to rub her hands over me and over all the kids speaking in tongues. But I swear that lady was not saved. This is the same daycare where I said my supervisor sat on a kid. This is the same daycare where I said I got mistreated and talked to any kind of way. This is the same daycare I said that the head director, who was supposed to be saved, used to make fat jokes about me to my face. I probably was bigger then, but it didn't stop me from getting a man. So, but I didn't understand that. They were so unprofessional. Every last one of them. Talking about fighting parents, making fun of the kids who had a disability, imitating the way that they were talking. One teacher who was a daycare teacher who I used to work with when I first started working there, she took another kid's hand and slapped another kid upside the head with the little boy hand. It's not funny, but I just couldn't understand. Her nerves was bad. And so I'm going to say when I get close to 60, even in my late 50s, I'm not about to be still working at any daycares because I just know my nerves will be bad just like her. But I worked at that daycare for 3 whole years because, like I said, my paychecks was nice. My paychecks were very, very nice. But yeah, it's like it's something that happened. It was always something that was going on at that daycare. Now, I've called them out before and said the name of the daycare. Just know it's the same daycare where I said they was just doing the most. A director supposed to be saved and in the church. I first came there, filled out the application, and I got the job the same day. And she's telling me to my face because of the fact that, well, I had money to get there, but I just didn't have any money to get back home. Now, this lady is supposed to be saved, the head director. she's going to say, let me tell you something. I do not take people home. That is not what I do. But I'm going to extend an olive branch and I'm going to take you home because you told me that you love working with children and I know you have love in your heart. So I'm going to take you home just for today. But don't expect that all the time because everybody else who works here is going to want the same treatment. And I'm like, okay. It's like you can tell when somebody don't want to do nothing nice. They'll let that be known, but they'll be smiling the whole time they're telling you something. Like, lady, whatever. That's the biggest cap ever. She was not saved. She really wasn't. She was not saved. Supposedly you're saved, but you're inside of a daycare center on the phone with a man. Oh, your girlfriend, she don't really want you. She just wants to use you. And I told you last night that you could have stayed at my house, but you chose to leave and go over there to her. She's a hussy. She's a Jezebel. Is that the type of conversations you should be having in a public place of business? A daycare, really? Even though she was in her office talking loud as she had the door open, it just wasn't appropriate. It was not appropriate. I mean, she just the word. If you look in the dictionary and the word fake with a capital F, you will see her picture. Because that woman was not saved, I swear. She wasn't. Every time that she would be talking in tongues and praying over me and praying over them kids, I would just look at her like, you the biggest crook, just like a president that they always said, Nixon, a long time ago. You are a crook. You're not saved. No, you're not. And just thinking back to memories, I also got me I'm gonna say my very first CPR license there at that daycare. And like I said, I stayed even though I was getting treated any old kind of way, even though the head supervisor was making fat jokes at me to my face, even though a lot of stuff was going on, I still stuck around and I stayed because I needed to pay my light bill. And like my light bill was $300. I could not afford to leave that job. I really couldn't, but that was what it was. I'm no longer working there no more. I'm quite sure they will never forget me because I used to speak out all the time. I was very outspoken. I used to let everybody know how I feel because I just felt like I was being tried. Because I was being tried all the time. And I don't know why people was always trying me like they thought I was scared or something. I was not no punk. I really wasn't. But yeah. I just have best wishes and blessings and hope everything goes well tomorrow for my interview. And I'm ending this video now, and until then, y'all stay blessed.